Each year, the International Association of Fire Chiefs brings together the best and the brightest in fire and emergency service leaders for Fire Rescue International. Coming together in Kansas City to network, learn, and collaborate, this is FRI 23, and we are here to cover it all.
You're watching IAFC TV.
You are watching IAFC TV.
You're watching IAFC TV. Straight ahead today, you will hear from current IAFC President Chief Donna Black about what you can expect at this year's gathering. Plus,
this is Moose. Moose is a part of Thin Line Service Dogs.
More on a new way to welcome man's best friend into the firehouse. And we take a tour of the technology neighborhood before doors are even open. A sneak peek is straight ahead. And today we kick off our tour of departments all across the globe that are leading the way in firefighting and rescue operations. It's an exciting first day of FRI 23. Straight ahead, we've got plenty of ways for you to watch. You can find the latest IAFC TV episode on the TVs placed throughout the convention center, on the in-house channels at both of our partner hotels, on the homepage of the FRI 23 website, and on our Twitter and YouTube channels. As we kick off this 150th anniversary week for IAFC, what better time than to sit down with the current chief in charge, Chief Donna Black. Thanks for your time this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Well, what a very exciting year for you to be at the helm. What has it been like for you this past year?
I think I got lucky in my year, right? So much has happened, so much has changed, and we have this whole thing that happened this year called Fire Service One Voice that Dr. Lori Moore Merrill started. She held a summit in October, and she put all the major national fire organizations at the table to talk about what are our problems collectively. And that has changed the momentum this entire year, and especially even for the IFC. So I've had the opportunity to work with that group, travel around the country, and talk about our issues on a national level with one voice. It's been amazing.
How important is that collaboration with other chiefs when it comes to the advancement of the profession?
We can't do it alone, right? We can sit in a small town or in a large metropolitan area with one chief trying to do the work of the department, but we have to work together. We can't solve all these problems alone. We really need to use each other for best solutions.
Any other initiatives that you tackled this year during your time as president?
So more importantly, right after COVID, we gathered our membership. We're a member-focused organization. We gathered and we came up with a new strategic plan. We had about 68 representatives over all of our membership and put them in a room and said, what do we want to do now? What do we want to be? You know, what's our lane? And we put together a really actionable strategic plan, and we're starting to put that in play. We approved the first part of it in the budget in January, and I think you'll hear from John Butler and from Josh Waldo and from Trish Wolford. We're going to work the plan.
Awesome. What would you say when you speak to some of these other fire chiefs are some of the most important challenges that the departments are facing right now, or some of the biggest obstacles that they're having to overcome?
Yeah, I think it's the same message we're telling everyone: recruitment, retention of our staff, mental wellness, health and wellness, challenges with modern technology and just getting ahead of that. Lithium-ion batteries, we're seeing more and more fires. The list is not endless, but there's definitely things together we need to work on, and we're all having the same problems. I would say it's not even just nationally, it's globally, right? We're all experiencing the same thing, so we need to work together to find the
Well, it's interesting that you mentioned that globally. I mean, we would be remiss if we didn't mention, what's happening in Hawaii right now.
Yes.
And of course, like the East Coast dealt with the Canada wildfires,
Yes.
Earlier this year. What's going on?
It depends who you talk to, but if you look at what's happening, from a climate change perspective, say what you want. Look how hot it is, right? Look at the areas that are hot. We had the hottest July on record in the world. Saw it on the news this morning. Weather disasters, hurricanes, flooding, our previous Chief Stubing lives in Nova Scotia, and they went from wildfires to tragic flooding in 60 days, right? That's a big difference. So just the weather challenges now, and that's out of our control.
Right. It's interesting, though, that ties into the recruitment and retention. I mean, the need for firefighters is there.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. And I think part of that, and this is close to my heart, is our awareness. I think we need to be doing more as a fire service to make sure our communities know what we're doing and that it's possible that they can do it too. And I think that's going to be the work we need to do going forward.
Before we wrap up, you have certainly had quite an impressive career. Was there anything during your time as IAFC President that really stands out to you as a key accomplishment or just a great memory?
Oh, the collaboration piece is really what will stick with me. To be able to walk into a room and we all know we're doing the same stuff and we're trying to help each other. Our diversity statement is we are better together, you belong. And I really feel that this year, the momentum that we're all trying to work together and not try to tackle things alone.
Well, Chief Donna Black, thank you so much for all of your service this past year, and we thank you for your time this morning.
Thank you.
Our first featured department is a city facing rapid growth and increasing 911 calls for non-critical incidents. The Colorado Springs Fire Department is tackling the challenge head-on with the innovative tiered response program. Let's see how they have revolutionized response times.
If you go back in time, when 911 was developed back in the late 60s, early 70s, it was developed for critical emergencies. What we saw over time, it started to become for all calls. That was the beginning of realizing that we needed a different system. So our tiered response system helps get the right resource to the right person at the right time. And all this blends together to make sure that they're getting the right care.
These teams in our tiered response system are segregated out in order to hone in on the exact types of patients that need a particular type of care.
The biggest difference is that we are more available for those structure fires, cardiac arrests, things of that nature where time does matter and people need our help right away.
So we have a new patch here, it says to the rescue. It doesn't say to the rescue to fire, or to the rescue to a high angle, or to the rescue to medical. It just says to the rescue. We're gonna go out there and help whoever gives us a call. And it's really helping them in a way that is rescuing them, but in a different manner.
With a growing population comes growing problems. West Palm Beach has exploded exponentially in the last 125 years, and today they are aggressively working to attack modern problems, from the opioid epidemic to firefighter cancers that change the way they operate.
West Palm Beach is a vibrant waterfront city that is growing exponentially. Our population has grown to over 120,000. We have 9 stations in the fire department and we cover 60 square miles, and we also have a logistics facility which is centrally located in the middle of downtown.
The Emergency Operations Center, which is what I run as an emergency manager, we tend to do the bigger issues, the bigger emergency calls. We start doing area command, unified command. We start to build out communications and logistical needs.
Special operations consists of 5 disciplines: our vehicle machinery rescue, our trench rescue, our rope rescue, confined space rescue, and structural collapse rescue for vehicles in the buildings where we have to shore up.
Over 85% of our firefighters are state certified paramedics. We're over 85% as well with the EMS call volume. So we are an all hazards department. We have technical rescue, we have hazmat, we have water rescue. We provide advanced life support services, and we're also expanding into the community paramedic program as well.
And Florida isn't the only place fighting fires and cancer. The Middletown, Connecticut Fire Department has implemented extensive cancer reduction initiatives to tackle this pressing issue currently challenging the fire service.
Here in the Middletown Fire Department, we're a full-service fire rescue EMS. We're a very busy fire department with fire duty. Medical emergencies constitute about 65% of our call volume. And we also do specialized services, dive rescue, marine operations, technical rescue. We install car seats, so we're a multifaceted department. We work in an urban, suburban environment here in Middletown.
I'm really proud of the fact that they are eager to do new things, to try new things, to make sure that they're putting their own health first, and that they're going to advocate for themselves and for their fellow firefighters on that front. And I'm really proud of the chief and his leadership and his administrative team for being the ones, even years ago, to set the tone for this is the kind of department that we were going to have.
You know, it's been a collaborative effort. If you don't have a collaborative effort in this, you know, you're doomed to fail.
The image of the Dalmatian as a Firehouse mascot is one that's been around for decades, but using canines as support animals is kind of a novel concept, mainly because there's been a lack of knowledge on how to incorporate these animals. Well, that is something that Chief Kevin Hardwick has tackled in this Amber Ribbon Report, and he joins us here in studio with a very special friend to discuss. Thanks for your time today.
Absolutely.
Now, you've brought a friend with you. Who is this?
This is Moose. Moose is a part of Thin Line Service Dogs. He's an ambassador with them.
Wonderful. All right, as I mentioned, the use of canines as support animals is one where there's been a lack of knowledge. What do you feel was missing?
There was really not, there's not a true definition to what the canines are in the fire departments. What we're trying to do in the fire department was to have something that was going to be beneficial and supportive for our crews. And that, unfortunately, is not a service dog. So we felt like that was the first thing, was to establish that baseline definition of what a service or what the therapy dog was for us. Dogs have been a companion to humans for many years, and the dogs really sense what the people are going through, and they pick up on it so much quicker. They will pick up on people that are maybe have some sensitivity going on in their mind, and they'll feel that, and that's really about the dog's temperament more so than it is about, and their sensing more so than breed. I mean, you'll see support dogs of a variety of breeds. They can even be a mix. Again, it's knowing and valuing and judging what their temperament is to get them instituted in the program. Understanding it, you may need more than one. Because the dogs are going to sense, I mean, they're going to get overwhelmed as much as a person would.
You lay out 7 what you call success stories in various departments. Can you highlight one of those and tell me why it was a success story?
One of them in there is Huntington Beach, California. Huntington Beach really developed a wonderful program. They have 5 dogs in their system, and they went to some great lengths in building their program from the ground up. They did a lot of this research on their own before this came out, and were very willing to share with us about what we do, what we've done with the report. BCOS has developed a number of the other ribbon reports. We feel like that, you know, we're putting out the best practices. We've had that acknowledgement before. So
wonderful. Well, Chief Hardwick, thank you so much for your attention to this and for all of your information and for your time today. And Moose, we certainly appreciate your time. I think it might be nap time.
Yeah.
Thank you to you both.
Thank you.
The East Hartford Fire Department is committed to the prevention of fires and the protection of lives, property, and the environment. However, the department's approach is a little different than what you are used to. Let's take a closer look.
The East Hartford Fire Department is a no-nonsense, blue-collar, hard-working fire department that's incredibly good at what they do. And our mission is the protection of lives, property, and the environment from the effects of fire, natural disasters, and other life hazards throughout town. The East Hartford Fire Department is unique because of the way we support our people. We're an employee-centric organization. We focus on our employees first. We make sure our employees have all the tools that they need. Our firefighters have all the tools that they need to do their job. And it feels very familial. We're a very family-centric organization, and we work together like a family.
The trajectory that we're on is just amazing. To see administrators that actually care about their people and care about the path of the department, they believe in what this place can be. With the recent turnover, it's an opportunity to bring fresh faces in here and train them how we want to be. So it's a great department, but we have an opportunity to make it even better.
Join us now as we take a trip to central Jackson County, where state-of-the-art services meet community needs while prioritizing the well-being of its dedicated force.
So our overall mission is to protect life and property, but the biggest thing also is we want to make sure our folks, our professional folks, have the best tools that they need to accomplish that job and to be the very best at their job.
Central Jackson County Fire Protection District is on the east side of the Kansas City Metro in Missouri. We're made up of 3 incorporated cities, about 80 to 90,000 folks.
When people call us for service, they have nobody else to call. And so we've had to answer that call and become pretty creative in how we handle those calls for service.
In general, we provide EMS and fire response. We also have specialty teams, both hazmat and specialty rescue teams. We provide traditional fire prevention activities like investigations, inspections, school programs. We also provide EMS transport, and we have a community paramedic program, which is the EMS arm of our community risk reduction division.
What we do is on the backs of our quality employees, and I am proud to be part of the organization that takes care of the people the way that we do.
As quickly as fires spread, that's how fast technology has to adapt to the ever-changing landscape of fire and rescue operations. Here now is your sneak peek at some of the innovative new technologies coming to market.
Sometimes people think of the fire service of put the wet stuff on the red stuff. Stuff has changed, and now whether you're looking at the fact that lightweight construction materials are a thing, where buildings burn faster and hotter, we're looking at lithium-ion batteries now that have thermal runaway, and we don't necessarily know exactly the best protocols. The external environment has changed, so we as a fire service have to change. And this is a lot of new technology that is just didn't exist maybe 10, 20, 50 years ago, and now does, and we want to create an unfair advantage for first responders to do their job against the different challenges at hand. Come along, let's check it out. It's kind of a situational spot for first responders to be able to play incident commander. Obviously, sometimes in the wildland it's a bit windy and rugged outside, so this being kind of a spot to allow you to play quarterback from here, this location. And a little bit smaller footprint here with the Ford Bronco, with being able to go anywhere that other vehicles can't. Up top we have the Chimera satellite antenna, and that's only kicking in when we don't have LTE connection. Then we ultimately have different antennas up top that are connecting down here to this Dejero blend, where this is ultimately taking 3 different LTE networks, AT&T, FirstNet, T-Mobile, blending them together to create the strongest network. And ultimately, when there's not LTE available, that's when the satellite connectivity will kick in. So you will actually take this component, first responder will wear it and walk away, and ultimately take this connectivity. We'll have the same connectivity that we have here in the Bronco, and then you can have a couple of these to ultimately extend the mesh connectivity. And then behind this, we have the Stealth Power backup battery system, which is ultimately allowing you to have ongoing, sustainable, clean power even when the Bronco is off, to be able to have an extended period of runtime to be able to operate the Bronco, and then also that's being charged the alternator when you're operating the Bronco. The ultimate goal of the TSI is to be two-way. We want this to not just be a person standing in front of a PowerPoint talking about tech, but we will be showcasing examples of technology and having rapid fire panels, having a startup pitch tank. We're going to be having lightning talks. So a lot of really cool, exciting opportunities, and you will be part of it. It's going to be one of the best technology events to date.
We pick things up now in Modesto, California, where their fire department is focusing on regionalization to help serve the growing communities in that area.
The mission of the Modesto Fire Department is to provide an all-risk fire service delivery system to several communities. We actually serve 6 of the 9 cities in Stanislaus County, as well as 4 fire districts. So all risk means that we provide anything from emergency medical care to advanced life support to river rescues, technical rescues, hazmat, obviously structure firefighting, commercial firefighting, and even cats and trees.
I think through our regional effort, we've been able to enhance the level of service to our community. We're able to utilize the resources we have available to us in our surrounding communities and being able to deploy them in a fashion that provides a better service not only to the city of Modesto, but to our communities around us.
The thing I'm most proud of as the fire chief is we got an organization behind us that is much bigger than any one person and will grow this agency and still deliver the highest level of service that the community deserves and expects.
As we commemorate 150 years of IAFC and celebrate the incredible advances that we've seen, it's also important to take a look back at the men and the women who have helped us achieve those milestones along the way. Here now is our Past President Minute.
To be a president of the IAFC, it's kind of a culmination of your profession. It shows that you're respected by your peers and the opportunity to get elected and serve and give something back to a profession has been really, really great to me.
One of the things that happened while I was president, we got legislation passed through the federal government that created what is now known as FirstNet, the communication tool that is our network as public safety. So I was very involved in that. I still am involved in that today. Where else are you going to have this sort of opportunity to get together with your peers, those that are on the tail end of their career, those that are coming up to be the next generation of leaders? This is the handoff spot of information and leadership.
FRI is very important to the IAFC because it allows its members to get together, and that's truly the benefit of being a member, is getting to meet other fire chiefs and chief officers that have similar issues that you have, and the things that you can learn while you're here is extremely important to being successful when you go back home to your department.
150 years ago, this organization got started because of the inability of equipment to be interchanged with each other. So they had the major cities come together as the fire chiefs, the fire engineers in those days, to share information. And that has continued over the years for every innovative thing that has happened in public safety on the fire and EMS side.
Well, the future of the IAFC is doing what's right for the fire service in general and taking care of the citizens that we serve.
And the future of the IAFC is in great hands with the up-and-coming leaders.
Well, the greatest accomplishments are electing me as the president 25 years ago. No, I'm just kidding. I know you're going to cut that out. Yeah.
And that's a wrap on day one of IAFC TV from FRI 23. We hope you've enjoyed this specially curated content for you today and that little walk down memory lane as we celebrate 150 years of IAFC. It's an exciting first day of FRI 23. Straight ahead, we've got plenty of ways for you to watch. You can find the latest IAFC TV episode on the TVs placed throughout the convention center, on the in-house channels at both of our partner hotels, on the homepage of the FRI 23 website, and on our Twitter and YouTube channels. Thanks so much for joining us today. We will see you right back here tomorrow. Go have a great one.